Hoodoo. Hoodoo is a set of spiritual practices and beliefs created by enslaved African Americans in the southern United States, combining African religions, Islam, and spiritualism. Followers believe their powers come from God and view the Bible as the greatest magic book in the world and a protective talisman. Practitioners think they can steer God's actions and control spirits with the use of rituals, mojo bags, and prayers. They also believe that God gives people a destiny and a skilled conjurer can influence it through hoodoo rituals, in good or bad ways. The ancient Levantine deity Yahweh is considered a hoodoo doctor, and Moses is revered as the finest hoodoo man. His miracles and liberation of the Hebrews are seen as acts of powerful conjure magic. Spirit belief is central to hoodoo. Spirits are conjured to cure and kill people, find things, and predict the future. Baptisms are performed by rivers to invoke the blessings of the Simbi nature spirits. In hoodoo, people also become Simbi spirits after death. Practices include offerings to spirits and deceased relatives, the decoration of trees with bottles to trap and drive away evil spirits, charming personal items mixed with herbs and animal parts in jars, and then bury them under the porch for a positive or negative effect. The use of herbal scrubs for quick luck, or burying the dead with precious items for protection and wealth in the afterlife. They also tap into occult and esoteric crafts like numerology, astrology, fortune-telling, and cartomancy. Solomonic Magic. This is a tradition of Western esoteric practice rooted in the legendary wisdom of King Solomon, who was said to have mastered the art of summoning spirits and demons. It is influenced by medieval grimoires like the Lesser Key of Solomon, the Key of Solomon, and the Book of Abraham. Ceremonial magic is a key practice. During complex rituals, sacred symbols and names of angels are used to invoke or summon spirits. The drawing of protective magic circles and the usage of ritual tools like wands, swords, and pentacles play another important role. Practitioners aim to summon and control entities like angels and demons for various purposes such as gaining knowledge and power. Kabbalah. Kabbalah is an esoteric tradition in Jewish mysticism that explores the relationship between the infinite, eternal God and the finite, mortal universe. Kabbalists see God in two ways, as an absolute, unknowable essence called Ein Sof, and as a revealed persona through which God connects with humanity. But some Kabbalists also view evil as an intrinsic quality of God. In Kabbalah, God's energy flows through the world via the Sephirot, his 10 aspects like wisdom or strength. When a person shows these qualities, Kabbalists believe that God shows his power. The Kabbalah creation myth is also very special. They think that God's light fills everything. When God wanted to make the world, he put this light into special containers, but these containers broke into pieces because they couldn't hold all that light. The pieces spread everywhere like little sparks of light and now make parts of our world. In Kabbalah, the human soul has 3 parts: Nefesh for instincts and cravings, Ruach for emotions and morality, and Neshama for intellect and the divine. They believe that souls undergo multiple lifetimes for purification and spiritual growth. Practical Kabbalah involves various mystical techniques and rituals aimed at influencing the physical world. Key practices include the creation of protective amulets, incantations and spells, or the ritual use of objects like candles. Advanced rituals might invoke angels or spirits, or also demons like Lilith, to intervene in worldly matters. These are often seen as forbidden or restricted. Anthroposophy. This spiritual and new religious movement was founded in the early 20th century. It teaches that there is a real spiritual world we can understand through our own experiences. It combines science with spiritual ideas by using imagination, inspiration, and intuition. Its goal is to help people think and decide for themselves without relying on outside authorities. In Anthroposophy, people are made up of 4 parts. The physical body we can see and touch, the etheric body, which is a life force we share with all living things, the astral body is what helps us feel and think, and finally the ego is the special human part that gives us self-awareness. Followers believe that being good means finding a balance between 2 influences. Lucifer represents creativity and spirituality, while Ahriman stands for intellect and materialism. The Christ being helps balance these 2. Anthropophysicists think that Christianity needs to be transformed and believe in reincarnation, karma, and a non-physical second coming of Christ. They also believe that a good spirit will unify all religions. Anthroposophy is applied in education through Waldorf schools and the Camp Hill movement, environmental conservation, banking, agriculture, organizational development, and the arts. Theosophy, founded by Russian mystic Helena Blavatsky in the late 19th century, Theosophy blends Gnosticism, Neoplatonism, Hinduism, and Buddhism into a unique spiritual system. It teaches that an ancient brotherhood of spiritual masters, mainly in Tibet, hold deep wisdom, supernatural powers, and aim to revive a once universal religion that goes beyond all current faiths in the world. Early Theosophists thought of them as figures like Abraham, Moses, Buddha, and Confucius. Prominent masters in Theosophy include Kuthumi and Moria, whom Blavatsky claimed to communicate with. These masters select worthy individuals to train as apprentices, who must live a life of physical purity and chastity, avoiding indulgence and luxury. Theosophy believes in a single divine absolute from which the universe flows and sees the purpose of life as a path to spiritual freedom through reincarnation and karma. Each person, called an ego or monad, is thought to have come from a divine source, the solar deity, and will eventually return to it. Universal brotherhood and social improvement are the basic principles, though they lack a specific ethical code. Theosophy claims that all religions share a hidden universal truth, which can be uncovered through intuition, meditation, and study. Apparently, the world we see is an illusion. Gnosticism. This movement emerged in the late 1st century AD among Jewish and early Christian groups, focusing on personal spiritual knowledge over traditional religious teachings. Gnostics believed in a hidden, supreme god and a lesser, often evil deity who created a flawed material world, sometimes linked to the biblical Yahweh. They sought salvation through direct mystical knowledge of the hidden god. Gnostics often practiced asceticism, avoiding indulgence in physical pleasures. The pleroma is central to Gnostic beliefs. It's like a magical world full of divine light where powerful spiritual beings called aeons live. Jesus is thought to have come from this special place to help people remember their true divine nature. Aeons are like rays of light from the main god and make up this magical world. One of these eons, named Sophia, stands for wisdom and is connected to the world's soul. Some Gnostics thought Jesus was a special being from the divine world who came to share secret knowledge. Others believed Jesus was just a person who learned this special knowledge and showed others how to learn it too. The original Gnostic movements largely faded by the 5th century due to persecution and the rise of Orthodox Christianity, but many contemporary mystical groups draw on Gnostic themes. Hermeticism. This is a religious system based on the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, a mix of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god of Thoth. It views God as both the creator and the cosmos, meaning everything exists within God and God is present in all things. Hermeticists believe a single true theology exists in all religions and was given to humanity by God in ancient times. They claim what happens in the heavens mirrors what happens on earth, a unity between the microcosm and the macrocosm. Hermeticism includes the 3 parts of wisdom: alchemy, which studies the spirit of things and the secrets of life, death, and rebirth; astrology, where planetary movements have deeper meanings; and theurgy, divine magic that involves working with divine spirits like angels and gods. Reason and knowledge play an important role for Hermeticists. When influenced by God, they lead to positive outcomes, but when influenced by demons, they lead to harmful and immoral actions like murder. In Hermeticism, God created the universe by making 4 basic elements: earth, air, fire, and water. These elements then formed the planets, stars, animals, and humans that had both male and female qualities combined. When Hermetic ideas were no longer accepted by the Christian Church, they became secret but still influence some groups today. Chaos magic. Chaos magic started in England in the 1970s and is about using your own beliefs to change how you see and affect the world. It views the universe as a mix of complex systems called chaos and stable elements called cosmos. These systems are too complex to fully understand for humans, but by focusing on constant points within them, you can influence the outcomes. Key ideas include beliefs as tools. Chaos magicians view beliefs like tools they can use to make things happen. They are powerful and can be changed to get different results. Flexible symbols. Things like astrology and ancient symbols are just tools to help, not things that are literally true. No fixed truth. Chaos magic says there are no absolute truths. You can bend the rules as needed. Breaking free. Practitioners work to free themselves from rigid beliefs and societal norms to unlock their magical potential. Chaos magicians use things like sigil magic, meditation and visualization to focus their mind and energy on their goals. Martinism. Martinism is an esoteric tradition founded in 18th century France. It teaches that people need to reconnect with God. It says that long ago humans were once perfectly divine, but got stuck in a materialistic world. By practicing spirituality and purifying themselves, they can return to their original divine state. This process is called reintegration. Martinism has 3 active branches. The magical focus branch, which practices rituals to fight evil forces. The most skilled members summon divine beings and perform exorcisms to combat demonic influence and black magic. The second branch, the Scottish Rectified Rite, is a Masonic order that evolved from the rite of strict observance. Unlike the magical practices of the first branch, this one is more philosophical and ethical. And the third branch, the Martinism of Louis-Claude de Saint-Martin, focuses on meditation and inner spiritual transformation. Neoplatonism, this philosophical system builds on the ideas of Plato. It focuses on a single ultimate source of all existence called the One or the Good. Neoplatonists see the One like a big light. From this light, other lights shine out, but each new light is a bit less bright than the one before. They call this emanation. The first light that comes from the One is called the Divine Mind. It's the source of all ideas and forms. The soul is the next light that comes from the divine mind. It's responsible for life and movement in the world. Neoplatonists believe that everything in the universe flows from the One in a step-by-step manner. The further you go from the One, the more complex and less perfect things become. The ultimate goal is to return to the One. Neoplatonists view evil as the absence of good, so darkness is simply the lack of light. They believe that people can achieve perfection and happiness in this life, not just in an afterlife. They also think that the soul existed before birth and is immortal. Neoplatonism influenced many esoteric traditions like Gnosticism, Hermeticism, and even early Christian ideas. Theurgy, also known as divine magic, involves rituals to invoke or summon deities with the aim of uniting with the divine and perfecting oneself. It's considered the opposite of Goetia, a form of witchcraft. In esoteric Christianity, theurgy is seen as a beneficial practice to learn God's mysteries, heighten spiritual nature, and achieve higher consciousness. Organizations like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn teach theurgy to help individuals ascend spiritually and understand the true nature of the self, the divine, and the universe. Theurgic purification rituals use divine symbols, stones, and plants to help people connect with their inner divinity. Rosicrucianism, this mystical and esoteric movement, emerged in the early 17th century in Europe. It combines elements of mysticism, alchemy, and secret knowledge. Some say it's a global brotherhood that believes in ancient, secret wisdom passed down through history. The earliest document about it, called the Account of the Brotherhood, tells of the alleged founder Christian Rosenkreuz, who was supposedly born in 1378. According to the story, he gained secret wisdom during travels to the Middle East and shared it with his followers when he returned to Germany. Rosicrucianism emphasizes spiritual enlightenment, the search for hidden knowledge, and the transformation of the self. It often incorporates alchemical symbolism and the idea of a mystical quest for wisdom. The movement has influenced other esoteric traditions like Freemasonry and modern occult practices. Alchemy, an ancient practice blending philosophy and early science. Alchemists believed in the Roman gods and that all human beings are interconnected via the world's soul. Alchemists aim to transform base metals into gold, creating an elixir of immortality, and find cures for all diseases. Central to alchemy is the Philosopher's Stone, a mythical substance believed to achieve all these things. To make the Philosopher's Stone, alchemists had to complete several steps like cleaning and purifying the prime matter until it turned red, which signaled alchemical success, and the end of the so-called great work. Through these stages, alchemists believed they could not only change materials, but also perfect themselves and reach higher spiritual understanding. Alchemists used secret symbols and guarded their work closely closely, but they developed laboratory methods and terms still used today in modern chemistry and medicine. Shamanism. This spiritual practice first appeared thousands of years ago in Siberia and Central Asia among indigenous tribes like the Tuvans. Shamanism believes the visible world is influenced by invisible spiritual forces that only shamans can see. Shamans can communicate with these spirits using their abilities to heal sick people, predict the future, and solve problems. These spirits can either be good or bad, and shamans treat illnesses caused by bad spirits. To gain insights and deliver messages, shamans enter trance states and go on vision quests. Many shamans know a lot about local medicinal plants and often use them for treatments. They learn from the plants and their spirits, especially in places like the Peruvian Amazon, where they use special songs to call on these spirits. In many cultures, shamans are believed to have the power to heal and harm, giving them significant respect and influence in their communities. Shamanism has influenced many neo-pagan practices, but the traditional indigenous type is believed to be declining worldwide. Paganism. Paganism is a term coined in the 4th century by early Christians to describe people in the Roman Empire who practiced polytheism or ethnic religions other than Judaism. The Celts, Norse, Mesopotamians, Aztecs, ancient Greeks, and many more all practiced some form of it. Despite their diversity, most pagan groups share core beliefs and practices like polytheism, the worship of multiple gods often depicted with human traits, plus animism and pantheism, the belief that everything in the universe has a life force, soul or spirit, and that nature itself is divine and shall be worshipped. Pagans also often revere Earth as Mother Earth. Common practices include public and private rituals aiming to induce altered states of consciousness through drumming, chanting, singing, dancing, and meditation, but also through food offerings made to deities, festivals tied to the agricultural cycle and honoring the dead, including the summer and winter solstices, spring and harvest, and finally the practice of magic through rituals and spells. Modern forms of paganism like Wicca and Druidry continue these ancient traditions. Astrology. Astrology is the study of how the positions and movements of celestial bodies like stars and planets affect human lives and earthly events. It dates back to ancient civilizations including Mesopotamia, Greece, China, and India. It originated from calendrical systems and was used to predict seasonal changes and interpret celestial signs as divine messages. Western astrology developed from Mesopotamian practices and spread through Greece, Rome, the Islamic world, and Europe. It uses the tropical zodiac and analyzes celestial movements through signs, aspects, and houses. Horoscopes are used to predict and understand personal and global events. Hindu astrology originated from Hellenistic astrology and integrates Greek influences with local traditions. Chinese astrology is based on concepts like yin and yang, the 5 phases. It divides the sky into different constellations and uses a 12-animal zodiac. To this day, astrology still influences various magical and esoteric systems such as Hermeticism and Wicca. Subscribe for more videos and click the like button to support me.